Yo.
What's
up?
Good?
What up, AFAB Fam, family, people? Good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time, day or night you may be watching. Welcome to the Anything for a Bits Sports Cast, where myself and Tyler, you think like 60% of you is going to be engaged this evening? I know you're very interested in Klay Thompson's return, so like. Is it like it's like 1.6 of the cast is here today?
Stop.
or are we gonna have both of us?
The implications are heinous here. Just stop.
Hey, Klay Thompson's momentous return is absolutely newsworthy. Understandable that's distracting you from some of your attention. I get it, bro. It was a pretty lit.
I'm capable of just like having the game on, and then having this discussion.
Okay.
Is 60% of you gonna be, bro?
I was just asking. It was just a question. Sorry, I didn't mean to start things off on the wrong foot. Let's start it over. Hey guys, welcome to Anything for a Bit. What's happening? Me and Tyler are here.
Where we deprecate the other host.
100% invested in the show right now.
This is ridiculous.
Let's talk some Cowboys, bro. Let's talk some Cowboys. So we want to kind of hang out a little bit tonight. Do a regular season kind of review, recap, however you want to word it.
It's the playoffs.
Just kind of run through some of the stuff, right? Kind of run through position by position a little bit, hit some discussion topics, really get everybody playoff ready for the game next week. Does look like we are going to be the 3 seed. So 3 seed, baby. Love that. Stepped up from that 4 seed that the Arizona loss dropped us into. So overall, the number 3 seed lines up. We should be playing the San Francisco 49ers, who have beaten the Rams twice this year. So we'll see. I feel like that's a better matchup than the Cardinals because I think Jimmy G is really bad unless you give him one possession at the end of the game. He had 2 interceptions and no touchdowns until the fourth quarter tonight, and then he goes and ties the game. And then they go and win the game. They didn't score a touchdown at the end, they got the field goal, but they did enough. They did enough to get the win. But the dude looked like trash for 3.5 quarters. I kind of, I don't know. I kind of feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is what all the Dak haters think he is, right?
Yeah.
Like that's who Jimmy Garoppolo actually is. What people think Dak is.
Yeah.
But we'll get into Dak conversation later. Let me not drop myself, offsides already from the jump here. Just want to run down a couple quick things, a little quick team overview, some of the achievements, the successes year to date, and then we'll get into some of these positional conversations. So just to kind of recap the season, Cowboys did finish 12-5, really nice record. I know there's a lot of people out there that are nitpicking things, style pointing things in the world today, but I think the Vegas line was 9.5, right at the beginning of the season.
Most people had this as a 9-win season.
Right.
12-5, hold that.
Yeah, very happy with 12-5. Again, that's going to be the second best record in the NFL too, right? The only teams with a better record are the Buccaneers and the Packers.
Yeah, you
got the same record as the Titans and as the Chiefs, who are the 1 and 2 seed in the AFC. And you got the second best record in the league.
Man, the Titans.
Yeah, the AFC is weird, man.
It's just a weird year over there, bro.
Yeah, the Chiefs are still the best team, probably in the league for my money. I know the Fighting Joe Burrows came and got one on them.
The Fighting Joe Burrows.
Yeah, you like that? That Denver tried to get one last night, but I don't know. I still think for my money, Kansas City probably still the best team in the league, and honestly, they probably have the easiest path to the Super Bowl, right? Because they don't have to play anybody but one NFC team. They got to let the Packers, and the Bucks and the Cowboys and the Rams and the Cardinals
and
the 49ers
destroy each other,
beat the hell out of each other, and then they're going to play one of those teams, right? So for me, whoever comes out of the AFC probably has the best odds to win the Super Bowl, just by value of lack of attrition. But 12-5, we get that NFC East title. Love to see that. You could say whatever you want about our division. 6-0 against the division.
Destroyed.
Yeah, we end up the 3 seed. So you get your division title, you get your home game. We get the 3 seed, which could be really important, right? Between the 3 and the 4, not only in that, the first game, this wild card weekend, but it gives us a better chance to, have another home game in the divisional round.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Because we're the 3 seed. If we're the 4 seed, there's almost no way that we're getting a home game in the divisional round.
No.
As the 3 seed, it becomes... going to Lambeau.
Yeah, you probably going
something
to
like that, right? As the 3 seed, it gives you the opportunity to have another home game potentially, and again, just make the path a little bit easier, right? So love that the Cardinals and Rams fell on their faces for us, at the end of the day. Love that the Cowboys took that game against the Eagles seriously, right? Dallas definitely could have just rested players. We could have rested Dak. We could have rested Zeke. We could have rested more players on defense, right? Even though we were down a few key players. D-Law didn't have to play. Randy didn't have to play, right? But they went out. They put it on the Eagles.
Took it serious. Yeah, they did. They should have beat them, and they did, so that was good.
But that win proves to be very important, right? In a game that last night, felt kind of meaningless.
Yeah.
It turned out to be pretty important because that win is what gets us to the 3 seed in the playoffs. So that win turns out to be a really nice looking win. Couple more things to note, just as a general and a whole team. Got to give this team some credit, some applause for a couple record breaking stats. You know me, I love all my random stats. Pull them out the air.
Please.
Stat number 1. The Dallas Cowboys have an NFL record 22 different players that scored a touchdown this year. 22 players on this team. And this is not throwing the ball, right? So Cooper Rush actually doesn't get to be part of the 22 players. This is only crossing the goal line, right? So Dak gets it because he ran a couple in. But then you got basically all your skill position players, right, with at least 1 touchdown, even like your 4th, 5th, 6th wide receivers and 3rd and 4th tight ends. You got an offensive lineman in Terrence Steele with a touchdown. We had how many defensive players with touchdowns?
Yeah, we had 3 or 4 defensive players.
Hunt block touchdowns.
Yeah, we had.
And then last night, while we're having a good time running it up against the Eagles, we get Corey Clement, then we get Ito Smith, and then we get Mr. Rex Specs himself, Jaquan Hardy, our darling from Hard Knocks. Jaquan Hardy, good to see him be the one to break that record. Previous NFL record was 21. Cowboys did it with 22 with 3 different individuals last night that had not scored a touchdown yet getting on the board. So that's a pretty dope stat. I don't know if it, has any bearing on literally anything, but it's pretty cool.
It probably means we're going to win the Super Bowl, but.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Super Bowl bound. Here we come.
That's what you need to say it with some kind of conviction first.
You heard it here, folks.
Just move on. Don't.
One more really awesome season-long stat, and to get another first. Cowboys are the first team in NFL history. Follow along with me now because this is a lot. First team in NFL history to have a quarterback throw for over 4,000 yards in one Rain Dakota Prescott. The first team to also have a running back with 1,000+ yards in Ezekiel Elliott, even though it took him 17 games to do it. Also to have 1,000+ yard receiver in CeeDee Lamb. Also to have a player with 10+ sacks in Micah Parsons and a corner with 10+ picks. Let me just run that back real quick. First team in NFL history, quarterback 4,000 yards, running back 1,000 yards, wide receiver 1,000 yards, a defensive player with 10 sacks, a defensive player with 10 picks. That's a lot of stats. And just means we got a lot of star power, right? Ultimately, that's really what you're looking at is just, this team does have marquee players all over the place. And we thought that to be true at the beginning of the season when we talked about this offense, right? Didn't think that you'd have guys like Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons that would, be in that kind of discussion there, though. So you look like you're not as impressed with that stat as I am. And
no,
I
I
think
just
that's pretty awesome,
I'm just happy that I didn't catch any strays, since you were firing indiscriminately.
What strays would I have?
No, please.
Which ones would I have been sending?
That's okay.
Oh,
I mean,
hold on.
I just didn't get hit.
This is live footage of me sending Coop the link to the show because apparently he just doesn't know how to log on to YouTube. So pause everything for Coop so that
everyone
he can get logged
hold
in.
on.
Yep, everybody hold. Got to get Coop on the show. Send him the link.
Are you gonna patronize Coop and ask him if he's gonna be 100% engaged?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't seem like a good thing for a host to do. He can leave. You're kind of stuck here. So
got it. Yep.
Yeah.
This leaves
you made a commitment to the show.
Not
so
working, I guess.
Cool. Well, anything else to say about the defense or the team as a whole right now before we kind of get in these positional conversations?
Nah, this team is not surprising, right? That you have all these offensive accolades come this way and all these, even if it is obscure out there, these stats or the compilation of stats with the team. I will say it just kind of reinforces the frustration of the inconsistency of play by the offense, because you see how great it's been, longer season notwithstanding. And the only my brain is, like, oh yeah, those sound great. And I keep hearing this little voice that's like, yeah, but which team's gonna be there? Which offense? Is it the first half of the season offense? Is it NFC East offense? Is it, I just
the NFC East offense.
Oh yeah, that NFC offense is banging. So let's
we play in the division. To that point, I think I saw a stat yesterday that said because we went 6-0 in the division, right? Like you said earlier. We outscored our opponents. I think the average score was 40-18.
It's
40-18 in the division.
Bunch to
40-18.
Right? So
that's
insane.
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not 20-point.
I'm really not trying to rain on the parade. It just that's what I think about when I see all those stats. I'm like, it just doesn't. It almost makes you scratch your head even more. Like, then why are we struggling so? Why is it so? This? Why can't I just get a more even wave? But we can jump into that.
No, I mean I think that's a fair point and really a good segue because we do want to talk about the offense first tonight. And I think that you make a good point, right? We all know, even me who has just been labeled and branded as a Dak lover, loyalist, whatever, right? Which I kind of am, maybe a little bit.
Boy got his blinders on.
I always back myself up with facts. Okay. You can always bank on that. I will have facts for the things that I say about Dak Prescott. Always. But, as a guy that, has been a longstanding Dak apologist or Dak supporter, whatever you will, man, this offense has, at times it's looked really rough. So, I think the first thing that I want to talk about, things that pretty much everybody wants to talk about, right, is Dak and this offense. So we'll go position by position and we will start with the quarterback. But I kind of want to frame this in the conversation with Kellen too, right? I think that when you talk about quarterback play, right? So much of what is going on there is that partnership, that teamwork with the offensive coordinator, right, or whoever your play caller is. So I think that when we talk about Dak, you got to talk about Kellen too. And this has been an up and down season for both of those individuals, right? I pulled Dak stats just through in 3 different intervals through the season, right? I won't go through all the numbers, right? But so weeks 1 through 6, when this offense was just clicking, everybody was killing it. We were cooking. He was completing like 70, almost 75% of his passes through 6 weeks.
That's right.
He had 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in 6 weeks. Dak was booking it almost 8.5 yards per carry or per attempt. Per attempt for those first 6 weeks. Really just just going through that thing and slinging the rock. He looked like the MVP candidate that me and a few of other select people out there who really believe said that he could be. And then we hit the bye week. We got the calf strain after week 6, right? He misses a game against the Vikings, comes back. And so then that next stretch, weeks 9 through 15, right? So we go 6 games, MVP caliber football. Then we go the next, 7 weeks there, weeks 9 through 15, and it does not look good. It doesn't. He's playing average quarterback at best when you look at the stats. You go from 16-4 in a 6-game span to 9-6 in touchdown to interception ratio over that
65% completion.
Right. 60 the completion percentage,
30-point drop in the rating.
Right. Just not good. Takes double the amount of sacks, goes from 8 sacks to 16 sacks.
Yeah.
But then maybe we see a little bit of silver lining. And I know. 2 of the last 3 games have been against the Washington No Names and the Eagles 15th string or whatever we want to say that they were playing.
Hey, those guys are professionals.
Yeah, whatever, man. We play who we're lined up against, right? Like that's what we do. We play who we're lined up against. I don't get to decide who's on the other side of the field. That's not up to me. But that notwithstanding, and this is including the Cardinals game, right? Which did not look good for the first half, right?
Yeah.
Halfway through the third quarter into the fourth quarter, we started to pick it up a little bit on offense. So the last 3 games of the season, I think we see Dak return to form a little bit. We get 12 touchdowns, no interceptions, 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions the last 3 games of the season. He's back up over 70% on his total completion percentage. Yeah. And he's back up over 8% on his yards per attempt. Again, I know we could say whatever we want about the competition. That's fine. Make that argument if you would like. All I'm saying is that in the last 3 games of the season, Dak has gone 12-0 on touchdown to interception ratio. We won 2 of the 3 games. He's completing 70% of his passes. I don't know, man. I think that maybe we're starting to see it. We kind of talked about this being around the time that we're seeing him return back into form. So I think, maybe there is some silver lining there, right? Unless we want to talk about the opponents, which I really don't care to. I think we're seeing some of that because we even saw, right, the games before we had the Giants in that middle mix, right? We had the Raiders in that middle mix. We had some bad defenses in that mix right there of bad games. So to see him tear up bad defenses is perfectly fine with me. That's what he's supposed to do, right? That's what MVP Dak is supposed to look like. And he still went 3 touchdowns, no picks in Arizona. Even though the first half of that game didn't look great, he still went 3 touchdowns, no picks, and brought them to within 3 there at the end of the game. Noble going off in the chat over here this evening. See here real quick.
Back Tony Romo.
See, we on the live. Yeah, we've been on the live for a little bit, Noble. We've been here for a couple months. Yankees are better. It's a different sport, but that's my other favorite team. And actually, I'm wearing a Yankees shirt right now. So, I can get with you on that. The Saints rock who? The Cowboys? The Cowboys smoked the Saints. Yep. And no, I don't think they're going to bring back Tony Romo. And I already had the discussion of Dak Prescott versus Tony Romo today on Facebook, and I don't really want to do it again. Dak's better. Deal with it.
Spicy.
Yeah, well. Half of y'all that are out there trying to tell me that Tony Romo is better than Dak were the same people telling me that Tony Romo sucked 10 years ago.
It's just in vogue to
like I'm just not going to go there. I'm not going to do
crap on the quarterback. I'm good.
Yeah, we already did it once today. I'm good. I'm
Did
over
the
it.
Saints even make the play?
Yeah,
no,
the Saints didn't make the playoffs. Actually, they did not, Daniel. The Saints did not make the playoffs. Noble says you being spicy, Tyler. I don't know what you're being spicy about, but you're being spicy.
Yeah. Look, man, is the only thing you can ask for, right? Is talking about you can't. I don't think you can talk about the opponent you're playing so much when you're talking about getting back on track, because you just play who you play, right?
Right.
So the only thing you could have asked for is for Dak to look better with his decision making, right? I guess what you want to call it, the placement, or the maybe even some creativities on throws.
Sure.
And then just, is he going to use his legs and make sure that we don't take negative plays since we're already being penalized, a decent amount? And I mean, save the first half against the Cardinals. Once they got the ball that first time in the second half, since that time, I mean, dudes look good. I think, at the beginning, you kind of talked about, you wanted to talk about Kellen and, Dak together.
Right.
And to me, my bigger concern on the offense is that, there are certain looks, right? You've been talking about. I think everyone, even if you don't know anything about defenses, are familiar with the term cover two shell now, right? Like
Right.
people
Hell,
know,
man, how many
right?
times we
Like
heard
we
cover two
know,
shell in reference to
right?
the
Like we
Cowboys
know
this
what
year?
that is now, right? And we saw, they talked about it sometimes during the broadcast. You saw it with the what was that, the Cardinals game, my bad. You saw them rotating, right? The safety playing that game where they're coming down in the box, but retreating, when the ball snapped, and, rotating, one high looks, or, showing one and dropping into two looks just to confuse, or give, that hesitation. My real concern is that those things have been happening for the better part of that 6-week stretch, or,
I
really
think Noble's
since
talking about soccer in the chat.
Oh, bet. And really since the Broncos game, right? You had been kind of seeing like, yeah, we got the way, right, to beat the Cowboys. And you didn't, I just didn't know that Kellen was calling plays to bust certain things, or that, they weren't altering, right, some of the route combinations on plays they already have, and saying, okay, we're gonna use this route combination and read it this way based on, what you see this safety doing. We'll always give you an out, right? And instead it looked like, we called the play, I see it, the receivers are running directly into the coverage.
Man,
I don't have, right, an outlet, right? I don't have a something in the flat, or, something hot that I can throw to. The pass rush is getting to me because we misidentified who was coming. Right. So we were not overloaded with blockers, but we're blocking the wrong people. Right. And now, I'm holding the ball, or I'm taking a sack, or I'm throwing it out, or, scrambling back to the line of scrimmage, and my drives are dying, right? Because Dak is not going to force the ball into coverage and turn the ball over. He's not going to do it.
Right.
So I started with thinking Dak's regressing and getting confused by defense. But now I think it is much more in the lap of the OC, that we just have to know what's coming better, or understand and anticipate what's coming better. And, maybe we got on a drive, but we get to the sideline and they're like, hey, remember the look we talked about they might throw at us? We're gonna, the best defense in Cowboys. Yeah, okay.
You're saying Watts, right? But he said Watts.
Yeah.
It was a funny.
Yeah.
He said I'm the best quarterback too. We'll go ahead. We can highlight that. We appreciate that. Nobly put me on the field. Put me in, coach.
Wow. Yeah, we'll have to go back out and test that. But yeah, that's what that's more my concern.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Or, my way out in left field there?
No, I mean, I think that, and I've been, the guy that's been, pounding the table for Kellen Moore all year, right? The scheme god, like that's my trademark for him and everything.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Olympus has fallen a little bit at times this year. See what I did there? But no, man, I think that I really haven't been super concerned about this offense. I think I've been pretty consistent with that, even in these low periods, because you're seeing what's happening, right? You're seeing, okay, they're dropping 7 now. They're playing that cover 2 shell. All I need to do is run the ball. So I think schematically, I'm worried about why can't we run the ball, right? Which I don't think is a Dak Prescott thing, right? Like,
right.
we've gone from on like an efficiency level. Me and you talked about this the other day. On an efficiency level, we went from a top 9 rushing team
Yeah.
and expected points added per play through the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season.
Now we're in the basement.
To like
yeah.
28th the rest of the way, right? When it comes to running the play or running the ball. So, that's crazy, right? Because those first 6 weeks of the season, that's when Dak was like the most blitz quarterback in the league. He's dicing everybody up. All of a sudden, teams are dropping 7, rushing 4, playing that cover 2 shell, and daring us to run the ball so that Dak won't throw the ball. And we can't run the ball.
Yeah, like
we can't
at
run
all.
it, man. It's crazy. We got less and less efficient as the season has gone on. Zeke had his worst per game rushing average of his career. And part of that had to do with Tony Pollard eating into some of those carries, getting more touches. But man, the running game just hasn't looked good.
Yeah, even as a team, it hasn't been good.
Right. Like just schematically, it just looks off, right? And it's looked a little bit better, the last couple weeks. I feel like you've kind of seen a little bit better rhythm with that. Maybe you haven't seen any like the gaudy rushing numbers, right? But I feel like you've seen them, get some nice plays, some called back by holds and, whatever else is going on with the offensive line.
Yeah.
So I think the running game for me is probably more of a concern. But when it comes to like Dak and Kellen and how we're doing, like the pre-snap execution, the play calling, the passing game, Arizona worried me a little bit, right? The other games, not so much. Arizona, that first half worried me a little bit because I think that was the first game that, kind of to your point, I was looking at that one actually and being like, man, does Dak know where they're coming?
Right.
Like, does he know who's coming? Does he know who's dropping? I wasn't sure for the first half of that game.
Was there more pre-snap? A lot of the want.
That's right. I am sassy, Juan.
Always.
Sassy and classy.
I wonder, is it pre-snap? A lot of the veteran quarterbacks undress your defense, right? You can try to dress it up, but they, Rodgers kind of mastered that, right? You feel like he is actually calling that play, and
right.
You start moving and nobody moves, and they undress your defense, and now you're playing cat and mouse.
Right.
Snap.
Right.
Are we missing some of that? Can we do better there? Like what do you
I think you see Dak a lot at the pre-snap. Like you see him, he's motioning, he's calling people, he's changing the play, he's killing the play. You see him doing a lot of work at the line. So normally I think that he's got it, right? Because one thing that you see, you talk about Aaron Rodgers, he's probably the best in the game at drawing the defense offside and then taking advantage of that free play. Yo, Dak is a master at taking advantage of offsides. I don't care what you say. Put whatever else you want on him.
Pretty good
Dak
at it.
sees that offsides and he throws that thing. He gets 20, 30 yards every time, every single time on that play. And that's the kind of stuff that you're looking for from that cerebral pre-snap quarterback, right? Can I get my count cadence to where they're not comfortable with it, to where they're guessing, where they're jumping, and then I take advantage of it. So I think usually I'm good with Dak at the line, right? Like I think he's doing his thing. I think he's okay. Man, it was just something about the first half in that Arizona game, though. It looked like he didn't know, right? There were 4 tip passes in the first half of that game. It just looked like he wasn't sure who was dropping back, where the blitzers were coming from. But I think even more so to your point, and then I'll kind of wrap up this piece here and we'll move on to running backs from here. But I think more to your point that you stated earlier is like, man, when I'm looking at some of these route combinations, whether it's something that Dak is checking into or it's a play that's called, why are my receivers running into the coverage? Right? Like, why do I have these long developing downfield routes? I'm trying to get, I'm trying to get a seam route with when they're dropping 7, right? So I've got to go past the corner, I've got to go past the linebacker, and there's a safety waiting for me, and I'm trying to throw a seam route, right? And I think that more so, when you see that all 22 view, right, you kind of get that bird's eye view, and you're seeing some of these, these sacks that Dak takes. You're seeing, incomplete passes, seeing him have to, scramble and run out and get a couple yards or just throw it out of bounds, whatever it may be, right? When you look at this all 22 view, I mean, there's nobody to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
Which is insane. I mean, when you have CD Lamb and Amari Cooper on the field, there should just not be that many plays that I am looking at that view and saying, man, why is nobody open?
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. It really is. So yeah, I think for me, my concern is more with Kellen on some stuff like that than it is with Dak. But to answer the question of are they playoff ready or not, yeah, man, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine.
Is Pollard playoff ready?
Yeah, let's talk about the running.
Is the run game playoff ready?
Because that is way more concerning than the passing game to me, right? We talked about the efficiency, the expected points added per play. The passing game went from like second in the league to 12th in the league, right? Over the good stretch and the bad stretch. So 12th is not great, right? But it's still average, which is not what we expect out of this passing game. I understand that. But from the rushing game to go from 8th or 9th in EPA all the way to 28th,
yeah,
when they're taking pressure off the quarterback and dropping 7 in coverage and only bringing 4, that is a problem. So Tyler,
alarming.
How do we get the run game going in the playoffs?
Alarming.
How do we get the run game going?
I have thought about this because I've asked you straight up a few times, like, are we just gonna run the ball better?
Yeah.
We're not shuffling the offensive line, right?
We have to.
There's not a bunch of, even with Tyron being out sometimes, we have played, Steele out at the left and Lyell out at the right enough times this season. That's not a foreign combination, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are they just gonna, run better? The other part is, does Jarwin coming back give us, different looks out of 2 tight end sets where we're gonna be able to block a little better on the edges?
I don't know, man. Jarwin can't block either.
Right, but
we all thought Schultz was the better blocker. That dude can't freaking block.
Right. I'm because I'm just thinking out loud here, right? Is the do we need to set up short screen and short passing game more to get the defense looking horizontally so that we can run, downhill a little better? That's something I feel like we got away from.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see that more with CD taking more of the outside reps, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to probably see more of that just by virtue of him not playing in the slot. You're going to get some of those quick wide receiver screens to the outside.
I know a lot of the coverage mistakes in the Eagles game were like rudimentary mistakes. Like when you talk about personnel, can you help who you play? No, but like you have to believe that a playoff defense is not going to, the safety linebacker corner, is going to communicate a little more so that the corner doesn't just turn loose the running back.
Nobody be surprised if we don't hang 50 on a playoff team, okay?
Well,
it's gonna be all right.
More about is more than scoring. It's like, there were so many of those.
It was easy.
5-yard flares, right?
Easy.
And no one's around you, so you can keep moving.
Yeah.
No,
it was easy.
We'll probably have to scheme a little better to get that look.
Sure.
But those are the kind of, things where I say, can we get the run game going? Can I get anything short, where I get the ball in someone's hands and we have positive, right? 5, 7, 8 yard gains. I'm not necessarily betting on the fact that we're just going to turn up and become a monster running team again, but with the combination, right, of some good play calling, Kellen, hopefully you are saving something, for the playoff, introduces that short passing game, right? Again, where that ball's coming out quick, and you're having to run to the sidelines to play defense. That enhances, the run game, and helps this offense, get in rhythm, a bit better. But otherwise, hopefully Pollard was just, being held out, and he's
I'm telling you, I told you
really
offline.
healthy. Yeah.
They rested
They resting the
their
best
better
running
running
back.
back. Yeah, they rested their best running back. That's what they
Zeke,
did yesterday.
To Zeke's credit, his shout out to my Coop. Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead and put it up there. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, first of all, Daniel said JJ Watt is coming back, so that kind of ties
He
into
got-
this next message. He got activated from IR. We'll see if he plays or not. But don't worry about it, Coop. We don't have to play the Cards because your Seahawks beat them for us.
Appreciate you,
Thank
big dog.
you. We don't have to. And then the 49ers beat the Rams, so we got the 3 seed. We're going to play the 49ers. It's already done. Shout out to his Hawks, though. What? Yeah, right. Shout out to your Hawks. Yeah. No, please, really, thank you. Because without that win, the Cardinals win the division because the Rams lost, and they're the 3 seed, we're the 4 seed, and we play the Rams next week. So, seriously, shout out to the Seahawks. Anytime you got Mr. Unlimited, quarterback in your team, you got a chance to win, and I'm glad they took it today.
The last little comment I'll make about the run game is that, credit to Zeke was hurt, and he endured a ton of criticism this season about the way he looked. Are your eyes? I hope your eyes.
No, please, no. Go ahead, there. Please carry on.
But his
I don't want my eyes to betray my feelings.
We did, in the middle of the season when they said he had the knee injury and that he could play through it and that it would heal through the rest of the season. It does look like he is feeling better. Is he, more effective? Mildly more.
He went for like 4.2 yesterday instead of 3.5. So, he went up almost a full yard. So, it's good for him. Tony Pollard still leads the league. So,
I just don't know. That's for me why I think that short passing game has to be there, because I view our run game as like, it's just complimentary, bro. We need to get to those like 4, any down and 4 or shorter, right? And then I can look at running the ball and
But I think that's the problem, right? If the run game is just complimentary and teams are going to drop 7 and bring 4, that doesn't work. That's what makes you the 12th most efficient passing game instead of the 2nd most efficient passing game.
Yeah.
Right? When you ask your quarterback to be elite while throwing to 4 people, right? 4 or 5 people, and there's 7 people to cover them, those odds are not good. And when you can't make teams pay for playing that way because your running game is complimentary, that is a problem.
It is.
If y'all want to look at why the offense has been don't look at number 4. Look at the people standing behind him and the people blocking in front of him. Because that running game is it, man. It is.
I don't see a resurgence of it. What do you see? I mean, is it as simple as Pollard will be healthy and all of a sudden
it's man, just let Tony Pollard play running back and move on. Just let Tony Pollard play running back.
So like that is.
Yeah, bro. Like if we give Zeke 20 touches no, I'm sorry, man. I know I've now been labeled as a Dak lover and a Zeke hater. I love Zeke. I do. But Tony Pollard is the better running back this year. Do you want to win a championship? I want to win a championship. Let Tony Pollard be the running back and move on with your day. He's faster. He's better on the outside runs. The Cowboys run better on outside runs. They block better on outside runs. It's a fact.
Just give Pollard the ball.
Just give Pollard the ball, man. Because again, I won't, I'm not going to go too deep on the analytical deep dive here, right? But when I was listening to this conversation with Jeff Kavanaugh on 105.3 The Fan, and he was talking about this expected points added per play and then talking about the success rate of plays. The Cowboys' rushing success rate was still quite a bit higher comparatively to their expected points added. Because if you get a 4 or 5 yard carry, it's considered a successful play.
Okay.
But a 4 or 5 yard carry does not do anything for you in terms of expected points added on that play. It doesn't do anything for you. So when Tony Pollard goes 2 yards, 3 yards, 57 yards, his EPA is higher, right? Because he got the big runs, right? You got to have those. We don't live in an NFL anymore where it's good enough to run into the middle of the defense and get some hard-fought yards and fall forward for 4 yards. Like it's not good enough, man. It's just not. It's not good enough to fall forward for 4 or 5 yards. You can't win rushing the football that way. It's not possible. Derrick Henry's the biggest running back of all time or something like that. And that dude doesn't even run that way. He goes for like 70 yards all the time, right? Like even a big body back like that is always going big chunk plays, right?
All right. Give Pollard the ball.
Give Pollard the ball. That's all I got on it.
Rushing game is better.
Those are my only thoughts. A guy led the league in rushing yards per carry this year. So give him the ball. Give him 20 touches in this game. We're going to win. We're going to be fine. Moving on to the wide receiver conversation. Who's our wide receiver run at the end of the season? We talked about this at the beginning of the season. I think we both said Coop at the beginning of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
If I remember, I think we both said Coop. So does that hold true for you? Is it still Coop or is it CD now? Sweeta wants to know what we're wearing to the Super Bowl. I might wear this fresh hoodie, right? Because this hoodie is actually pretty dope. I can't. The Cowboys logo's under my hair somewhere in here. I don't know. I got some Cowboy stuff. We can link it up. You know, we'll look fly. Sorry. Carry on with your point, sir.
I don't know. Because I think the Coop is the wide receiver one, but the Cowboys
Stats
are
don't
telling
say
me that CeeDee Lamb is the number one.
Stats don't say that.
CeeDee Lamb is the number. Is that? I think that's who we're running the offense for to target. I think that's it.
It certainly does appear that way.
I guess I don't know. I say Amari Cooper. The Cowboys are telling me it's CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb is not consistent enough for me to say he's better than Amari Cooper right now.
No.
Now, if you look at the stat sheet, right, CD had more targets, more catches, more yards per attempt. He got the, play out of the backfield as well, rushing, which doesn't really factor in the receiver conversation, right? But it still makes him, a more valuable weapon there. So, yeah, if you look at the stat sheet, you probably are saying that that CD is the number one wide receiver. But, it's some of the drops, right? Some of the stuff that you don't even see on the stat sheet, like the miscommunication between him and Dak sometimes, where, you can tell it's like, man, you just ran the wrong route, right? You got to be on that same page. Who's better in the field, Juan or Eli? There's nobody better in the field than me. Whatever field you want to talk about, field of play, field of sales, sell circles around Juan. It's my guy, but couldn't hold a candle to me on the sales floor, that's for sure. Hey, I didn't ask the question. I just answered it.
You didn't even have to click on it.
I didn't ask the question. I just
didn't even have to acknowledge it.
Just answered the question. That's the idea of a live show, is to acknowledge our viewers, Tyler.
Not that comment.
Oh, okay. Well, so we'll have to drop some stipulations on here.
Yeah, I'll make sure I submit that.
But yeah, my real notes with this piece, right? On the wide receiver one conversation is, man, just feed Coop. I don't have all the stats in front of me, but when Coop gets targeted early in the game and he gets a healthy amount of targets, Dak usually goes bonkers and the Cowboys usually win. Like, it is what it is. Yeah, bro, the chat is y'all distracting me. I'm here for it though. Keep it rolling. He's an L. Tyler's an L. He's hurt. Tyler, you're hurt. We can show that one. Can we show that one?
I am not hurt.
You said not to show the ones about me. Can we show the ones about you?
I am not here to listen to Eli.
Oh no, they want to L you in the chat. Noble want to L you in the chat.
I won't even know what this is. Yeah, that's fine. Look, man, I think there's a legitimate case to be made that we gotta find, people. Oh, we're gonna force the ball to hit? Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
see? Do you see what Devontae Adams and Rodgers got? Yeah, they are forcing the ball to Devontae
Right.
Adams, bro.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
are you
Right.
gonna get cooked by the
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
tough, bro. I don't know what to
care.
tell you.
Who's getting
That's tough.
cooked? I don't even
Uh,
understand.
it's certainly not me. Uh,
Let's just recap. Who's better in the field, Watt or Eli? You took the chance to, of course,
I just
glorify
answered the question.
yourself.
I just answered
I
the question.
just answered it with a fact. And
Hey, see,
now,
there's Noble, right? It's a W. W-E. You got the L. I got the
oh
W. That's where we at.
it was
Uh,
about you and Wad. It was about you and Wad.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's me
Oh,
against
God.
everybody, and I always win. Don't matter. Moving forward with the
Oh,
discussion. So
man.
yeah, I think it is. It's more of a schematic discussion, right? It's more of a question of scheme. Can we get the ball to Coop? Are we going to make that a priority? If we do, when we do, it's usually a good decision. So for me, Amari Cooper still got to be your number one wide receiver. But man, CD had a really good year, and love seeing him, make plays in the backfield as well. Here you go. Here you go. Coop for. He said little nugget for it. He said Coop leads the league in separation yards per route ran. That's why he argued about targets. Yeah, I mean you're right on the money, right? And don't get me wrong, CD's separation has been really good too. Throughout the year, he actually was leading the team there for a while. But yeah, I mean, and the one stat that Coop has the lead over CD in is touchdowns. He's got 8 touchdowns to CD's 6. And that, to Josh's point there, right, is just about his separation, his ability to convert in the red zone, convert on third downs. Yeah, for me, Coop is still your number one wide receiver. And CD is still he's probably more your big play guy, right, that you have right now. That's your yak yard guy. Get it to him in space and let him
Yeah.
go. But I think as a receiver, technical route runner, Coop still has that in the bag for me. Second piece here on wide receivers. Man, could Sed be a good wide receiver 3 for this team?
Yes.
And a better question, maybe. And I don't want to ask if Sed is better than Michael Gallup, because I still think Michael Gallup is a better player. But in this offense, it seemed like it's kind of worked better when your 3 receivers have been Amari Cooper, CD Lamb on the outside, and Cedric Wilson as your full-time slot. When Michael Gallup is in the lineup, you put CD in the slot, and he's a full-time outside receiver with Cooper. It kind of seems like it works better with CD on the outside.
I feel that.
And Sed in the slot.
Earlier in the season, they mentioned how Sed and Dak, because of the work that Dak was doing on his way back, they worked a lot together, right?
Mm-hmm,
like they have the chemistry. That slot receiver a lot of times is like, yeah, he running his route, but like he reading the defense as he crosses it and getting, into the open areas, following the quarterback's eyes. I mean, you can see the chemistry.
Right.
And he trusts, like he, as far as like, do I trust you, going to throw the ball at, like, it appears that, Dak will at least just put it around Sed.
Right.
And hope he comes down with it.
Yep.
On the chat.
Noble's here for you. He's talking to you.
It's funny. He definitely can be a wide receiver 3. And sometimes it's about the fit, Is Gallup a better player? I'm pretty sure everybody would agree with that. But it's said, maybe a better fit and, can be just as productive, right? At the end of the day. Yeah. He makes big catches. And he seems to have that rapport and that trust with Dak. It's instantaneous. So, man, I think he'd be obviously you didn't want he didn't want to lose Gallup, especially the way he did, right?
We'll say you a W now.
Yeah, I see that.
We both got dubs tonight.
Yeah.
It's a winning show, a winning broadcast.
But
the Noble Awards.
And I mean, you don't want to lose Gallup, but I don't think you're going to lose productivity from the wide receiver spot by having him play in wide receiver 3.
Yeah, I think Sed has made me a lot more comfortable with the idea of letting Gallup walk after this year. And I do, man. I don't know. It just seems like, and maybe it's the idea of, it's a little bit, I don't know if easier is the right word. But yeah, I guess I'll use the word easier. It's a little bit easier to play wide receiver out of the slot. And I think maybe CD can do a little bit more when you have him outside primarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chat, I don't know what they're doing, bro.
Cool.
Of course, I had to feed Noble here with the Noble Award goes
But
to.
okay. And when I
And
tried
then
to point
Coop
that out,
certified.
you were
Hey,
like,
Coop
I'm just
is certified
answering
on
the
the
question.
gridiron, though. Y'all
Hey,
got to
no
be
questions
careful.
about that, though.
That's actually not a
No
that's
questions.
actually not a joke. Coop
No
really
questions.
is certified on the gridiron. That boy cold.
Check the
Y'all
stats.
watch out.
Check
Yeah,
the
y'all
stats.
watch out for him. Y'all watch out. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe there's something to that. And if there is, hey, let's go play some really good playoff offense and do this thing 4 times in a row and see what we can do with it.
Do that thing.
Really quickly on the offensive line, trying to go unit by unit here, and then we'll go to the defense. We're gonna get some continuity, right? Tyron Smith should be back this week. We'll have the 5 that we're supposed to have. Is that continuity gonna help us, particularly in the run game? Noble say he about to bring us some views. He'll be back.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Listen, man, it's concerning because at the beginning of the year we had that run block.
Right.
We had the run blocking good. The pass blocking was sus, but we were, quick in the passing game, quick with the scheme. Didn't really matter, right? We're going to let you through, but you're not going to be quick enough to get to Dak before we let the ball go, right? Now we in a different situation where, hey, we're going to play coverage and we letting y'all run or daring you to run and y'all still can't block it, right? And, Tyron is good, great. If he's, we got 80% of Tyron.
Right.
He's still great. But like, again, are we just gonna magically start, blocking? I mean, the line has been average. The question is, are we going to be able to minimize untimely penalties? I think
penalties,
that's the biggest
yes.
thing
Okay.
that
Thank
the
you.
offensive line
Yes.
can do is
Right.
to just not beat themselves.
Right. The Cowboys are the
Because-
most penalized team in the league.
Yeah.
And a lot of those come on the offensive line.
If we can stop killing a 3rd and 6,
Right.
if we, taking us out of, from a 1st and goal to a field goal situation, and things of that nature, then I feel better. That's the biggest thing going forward. It's not about if you're going to block, because you're going to play some elite defensive linemen and they are going to wreck the game a bit. The blocking is not going to be elite. The play calling is going to have to complement what you're asking them to do. And then you're just going to pray that they do not shoot themselves in the foot.
Right.
That's really it for me.
Because that's what it's been, right? You saw like the Cardinals game, for example.
Yeah.
3 straight drives to start the game. Killed by a penalty. Yeah. 2 holds and a false start.
Yeah.
Right. 2 offensive line holds and a false start.
Yeah.
On that 3rd drive, you can look at Dak too a little bit if you want, because they still had a chance to convert if he doesn't miss Amari Cooper on that 3rd and 9 pass attempt.
Right. Yeah.
But it shouldn't have been 3rd and 9 in the first place, right?
Yeah.
They had the first down already. So yeah, you can look at Dak a little bit on that one too. But again, you still look at those untimely penalties on those first 3 drives. I mean, you score on one of those drives, right? And it literally just one of them. And we saw it in the second half, because the second half, when they started scoring touchdowns, you didn't see any of them like any failing, right? They were moving the ball. They scored 3 touchdowns in the second half. But the difference was that they weren't getting penalized, right? They weren't holding. They weren't getting false starts.
Yeah.
So for me, I agree with you 100%. That's where I was going to go. For me, that's the biggest thing when it comes to the offensive line right now. It is just that, man, we gotta keep them off of that. Oh no, Bull.
Gross. See, But you fed this.
I did not tell him to say the 49ers were going to win. I didn't feed any of that. That's disrespectful, bro.
You did this.
Jimmy Garofolo can't do it.
Say his name. I got his name Garoppolo.
Right. Yeah. I said Garofolo. I threw an F in there too. Garoppolo. Only contest he's winning is the best looking quarterback.
They cut down the penalties. They're gonna be good. But switching sides when you talk about the line.
Let me catch up on these chats real quick. Yeah. Some, ones that people were saying actual things and not just
so
stuff like the 49ers are going to win.
Let me make sure I understand.
No, hold on. So Coop, you're derailing the show, Tyler. You're derailing the show.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Trying to stay on topic here.
Yep.
So Coop, thank you, appreciate that. Says, with the last conversation, Gallup is a true X. Wilson a prototype slot. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm seeing when I look at this schematically, is that just, maybe CD gives you a little bit more than what Gallup gives you on the outside, and Sed is a nice fit in the slot. Juan says Sed's a baller, but Gallup's better. Cedric brings something special like Eli's hair. No, Noble, nobody loves the 49ers. Nobody. Not even Coop, because he's a Seahawks fan, and that's in division. Like, not even Coop wants the 49ers to win anything. Come on, man. You're tripping out here talking. Everybody loved the 49ers. Trying to start a fight. Now we can switch to the other side of the ball. And let's start with that D line. And, this is a topic that we've talked about a little bit, throughout the season, but just kind of as things have gone along, the development of Micah Parsons as a pass rusher, getting Randy Gregory, to play at his peak level, D-Law coming back and just looking like, the old tank again. Neville Gallimore, when he got back, just looking like a freaking tree trunk out there. Also Digizuwa. Yeah, I'm seeing the chat, man. We just moving forward.
Okay. All right.
Daniel said, "Love me some cowgirls talk." Cowgirls, come on,
what
Daniel.
He say.
What's up, my guy? What's up, Daniel?
This is what he say.
All right, just stop it. Defense win games, and when it comes to that, the 49ers is where it's at. See, and even that's not true, right? Because the Cowboys have a better defense than the 49ers. So, even that's not accurate, because the Cowboys' defense is better. It just is. So deal with it. But is this defensive line the best unit on the defensive side of the ball, given all those things I just said about all those players?
Yeah. Honorable mention to the secondary. The defensive line is solid. It's definitely going to be I know offense is important, but if the defensive line is able to continue to apply pressure throughout the playoffs, we're going to be good, because that's your only chance against the higher tier quarterbacks. So you got to pressure them. You got to move them. You got to make them a little uncomfortable, right? You got to, and it might be where you chase them the whole game, and you affect like one or two passes, right?
Right.
There's depth enough to keep it going, right? They play the run well too, as a unit, and because of how Micah Parsons is able to be moved around, you see everybody rushing from everywhere, right? You've seen Tank rushing from inside, Dorrance on the outside, Micah lined up, literally anywhere. This is going to be no surprise to see the D line, lead us through the playoffs, with a lot of big plays and game changing plays.
I do think, you got to wonder a little bit about, can they really pressure the way that we've seen them pressure against some of that elite level competition, right? And now Kyler's kind of a different animal because of who he is as a quarterback,
the mobility,
right?
Yeah.
But even in that game, you didn't see the same pressure that we've seen in past weeks from that defense. So, I do think you got to kind of wonder, we're going to see what that looks like.
Don't Just do
We're
it.
gonna play the Coop one because Coop said, "Hey, hate to say it, think the Cowboys can win it if they stop the zone run." That's very true. 49ers are very dangerous with that zone run.
Yep.
Jimmy G definitely not about that scramble up. Right, Garoppolo can't do what Kyler can. What Ronaldo say? That's okay. We take all of the comments. Cowboys had a sorry schedule, and the good teams they played, Bucks, Chiefs, Cardinals, they lost. Okay, well, the Eagles won 9 games and we beat them twice. So that's fine. The Raiders are a good team and they barely beat us. Okay, that's fine. The Patriots, I guess, are a trash team, right? Like they're just not good. We played them.
Right.
Whatever, bro. Goku would beat the Cowboys, though, Noble. That's a good point.
Yeah, man.
And then Daniel, I've been talking about this for a minute. When we put Micah in at running back, we finally have the offense we need.
That's it. That's right,
I'm
Daniel.
telling you, bro.
Yep, that's right.
I'm telling you. Let me see some Micah Parsons on the offensive side of the ball. I'm here for it. But yeah, so that's kind of my only question, right? We've seen a lot of really good things from this defensive line. We've seen them show up in big ways, make big plays. We just got to Aaron coming in here helping us out. Appreciate that, fam. Take care of Ronaldo and Noble.
I love it.
They're talking about the
Clean
49ers.
up the chat, baby.
Yeah, please. I need some moderators in here so I can keep my head on. Just got to see him do it against some of that elite competition. Daniel said we need to avoid Rodgers in the playoffs. No. Give me Aaron in Lambeau, NFC Championship. Let's boogie. Let's go.
No one's begging for that.
Go.
But if that's what has to happen,
then
okay. And nobody begging for that.
Let's go. Noble Demon Slayer would also go against the Cowboys because they have swords and magic and Demon Slayer. So, they would also defeat the Cowboys.
Do we need to do a fun game?
Like,
do we need
what
to do
anime
a
versus the
playoff
Cowboys? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Do we need to do an anime?
Do a bracket. Do an anime bracket. Who can beat the Cowboys?
Oh my god!
Whoever wins gets to face the Cowboys in the championship.
Yeah.
Moving on to the linebackers.
Yeah.
So really not a whole lot to discuss from the linebacker standpoint. I would say to your point, you said secondary gets honorary mention. That's probably your weakest. That's probably your weakest piece of your defensive lineup right now when you look at your positions, your position groups. But I don't know, man. I kind of like the rotation of bodies that we've had in. Really wish that I had Jabril Cox, right? Because that was the guy that I know I was really high on at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And it would be great to have him in the lineup now. But I kind of like what the Cowboys have done. They've had Micah, of course, when he's not, on the line, blitzing, playing that off-ball position. LVE has been better the back half of the year. Keanu Neal's been okay. But really what I've liked that I've seen them do a lot is, particularly with Jaron Kearse, but even with Donovan Wilson, is kind of use them as that third linebacker in some of these sets, right? Some of these 4-3 sets, you'll see Jaron Kearse or Donovan Wilson be the third linebacker instead of it being, like Micah, Keanu, and LVE. It'll be Micah, Keanu, and Jaron. I really have liked the way they've done that. And I like the rotations in general, right, on the defensive line and in the linebacking group. That front seven, we just have created so much depth over the course of the season. And when teams let us substitute, it just keeps everybody's legs fresh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pass rushers are fresh. Your run stoppers are fresh. I like the collective group as a whole, I think. But there's not really anyone in particular that sticks out as a big, what happened? Did Clay do something?
Ooh.
I saw he dunked on somebody. I got a message earlier to say he dunked on somebody.
Getting nasty.
What Noble talking about LeBron would beat Dak. Ronaldo said Prescott is definitely no Troy Aikman. That's exactly who y'all need. Everybody needs a Hall of Fame quarterback. So I guess I'm not gonna argue that point with you because everybody would love a Hall of Fame quarterback. Coop said Noble got to be getting NFL confused with Madden. 49ers are not it, bro. Better chance betting on NFTs. Yeah, and then Aaron, we appreciate you, sir. He definitely surpasses, what's that guy's name? Carapolo? Right. Garoppolo is not playing amazing, Noble. He had 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions until there
I
was like
was there
5
when
minutes left in
Jeremy
the game.
Garoppolo beat.
Oh, Aaron was playing us. He was playing us the whole way.
Oh
49ers for
no,
life.
49ers for
Man,
life.
I really hope that y'all are back next week, bringing that energy when we talk about the Cowboys beating the 49ers.
Yeah, make sure you can set the
I can't
notifications.
wait,
so
bro.
when we
I
call.
cannot wait. I can't wait for y'all to watch Dallas
Yeah.
end Jimmy Garoppolo's 49ers career.
Yeah.
And send them home. I can't wait. And if y'all live in Dallas, let's go to the game. Let's go. I want to sit right next to y'all.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about it. We're going to live stream it. Y'all's reaction.
Okay. No, I agree. The linebackers have been, it was a little bit of concern this year, but I like what Dan Quinn has done, getting some of these versatile guys in there, calling defense, taking advantage of their strengths. So it's definitely something, after the season, I'm sure it'll be something we look at, with Jabril Cox coming back and, maybe, this being LVE's last season, but, we'll see how that shakes out. But going into the playoffs, I'm not worried. Are they the weakest unit? Yeah, just by rating all of them. I'm not worried about what's happening in the middle of the field unless they start asking people to do stuff that they are not good at.
Is this LVE's last season with the Cowboys?
Yeah, probably.
We know we didn't pick up the 5th-year contract, but
probably it is. I think so.
Coop, I'm always here to call out the Packers. I am tired of Aaron Rodgers. I am tired of Aaron Rodgers beating the Cowboys and everybody being scared of him. Y'all realize the dude can't even make it to a Super Bowl, right? He's the best quarterback of all time. He's the MVP. Can't even get to the Super Bowl. Not worried about Aaron Rodgers, bro.
Okay. All right.
Not worried about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Let's go.
Just not gonna.
Let's go.
Not gonna do that.
Let's go.
Not gonna do that.
Go.
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously, when you think about Cowboys secondary, think about Mr. Trayvon, cover the world Diggs, that had the 11 picks. But it wasn't just him, man. We were kind of worried about safeties at the beginning of the season. But Kazee and Hooker ended up, playing good safety for us most of the season.
Yeah, really like what Hooker's done, really coming on late back half.
Really worried, right? We were really worried about, oh my God, is Anthony Brown going to be a liability the whole season? It got off to a terrible start, right?
Yeah, we was talking AB on AB crime, and we were,
right.
we were.
And now the other AB is not even here, but the
Antonio Brown.
I mean,
do a whole show on that guy.
AB, Jordan Lewis. I mean, even it was Joseph that was playing that solid run defense when he was in.
Yeah, okay,
Eagles,
so
right?
that's really the discussion piece that I want to talk about, right? Because secondary has played a lot better, and Jordan Lewis hasn't played bad, but he's been out a couple times, over the course of the last few weeks, and Kelvin Joseph looks good. My guy, Boss Man Fat, looks good. And
he's sticking his nose in there and banging on that run game, bro.
See, but I don't know, right? Like, what kind of risk is it to say we've gone 17 games like this, but this guy's playing well? Because Kelvin Joseph was hurt at the beginning of the season, right? So we just didn't see him very much. But I think what you would do is you would put Anthony Brown in the slot, and Kelvin Joseph would be your other outside corner. So really, you're changing 2 positions in the secondary during the playoffs.
Nah, you want to make that change now?
No, I'm not saying that I want to. Just Kelvin Joseph's played really well. Jay Lou's been okay, but he has his limits even in the slot, right? I think the way Anthony Brown has played this year, I don't think Christian Kirk gets him the way that he got Jordan Lewis against the Cardinals last week.
I think I hear you there, and I think I like because in the playoffs, right? It's right. It's specifically this opponent, right? I gotta get through this game. It's not about what we been doing for a certain point. There's guys back there that have some rep now that, to your point, if it is a better matchup, or you think you're gonna get hey, I think Joseph is gonna help us a lot more, with his play style this game versus AB, and AB matches up better with the slot. As long as those guys are, comfortable making those moves, then yeah, as long as it looks good, I think that's an advantage, right? And you talk about going back to Dan Quinn and what some of his strengths are is, putting the right, piece on the field, at the right time. It's good that those guys look good because hopefully it gives them that option. But I wouldn't. Yeah, I hope they wouldn't just change it. I'm sure they won't, but just changing the starters to change it. But for a matchup purpose, sure, I'd love to see that, to make that adjustment and just be better. In the play. Hold on.
There's been this conversation in the chat. Apparently, me calling out Aaron Rodgers didn't sit well with everybody. Yes, he's one of the greatest of all time. I agree. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. He's one of the GOATs. I agree.
On baby, so it got serious.
But then we got Romo over Rodgers, Daniel. I don't know about all that. Like, come on, bro.
That's my quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers is better than Tony Romo, and it's not close. Let's be fair here. But Ronaldo, I would not take DiNucci over Romo. That's not going to happen. But to Daniel's point, if we're not just looking at who's the better football player, Romo is a better commentator because Aaron Rodgers doesn't commentate yet. I can't confirm that he's better at basketball, but I know that. Yeah, it would be tough, man. I can't confirm that he's better at basketball than Aaron Rodgers, but I do know that Romo's good at basketball. I don't know that Aaron Rodgers is good at basketball, and I do know that Tony Romo is a fire Madden player. So, Romo can have the 5th best passer rating of all time. That's okay. He's not better than Aaron Rodgers, though. Sorry, he's not. Daddy Yankee's gonna make him play better. That's my guy. That's me, Primo. All right, let's talk about some end of the season predictions here. Let's move forward with the final piece of the show. Y'all out here wilding.
Bro,
Noble said, "Dale más gas." Come on, bro.
Oh man, this is good.
Ronaldo said both teams are good on both sides of the ball. It's going to be a crazy game. Yeah, I do think it's going to be a good game. I really do. I don't think that the Cowboys are just going to, welcome the 49ers into their home and then wipe the floor with them and kick them out onto the streets. I don't think that's going to happen. We'll talk more, probably Thursday evening about the game itself. But I do agree. I do think that the 49ers pose a challenge. Look, they beat the Rams twice.
Yeah.
That's nothing to sniff at. There's nothing to just dismiss for sure. So I do think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
I also think the Cowboys are going to come out on top. But
yeah.
But so let's go through just some final regular season predictions here. Look at some of these award races, playoff predictions in general, and then we'll put a bow on this thing. Daniel said, this is probably pretty accurate.
Specific.
31-28. Greg goes 1 of 3 on kicks, but makes 1 in the third.
Right. So that we're like, okay, good job, Greg. But we're watching you.
See, it's probably like 30-28 though, because he's gonna miss a PAT too. Because he can't help himself.
It was the surgery.
Yeah, he can't help himself. He can't see that close. Like, I don't know, he's nearsighted or something. He just can't see close enough to kick a PAT. It's gonna be good. Noble says the award goes to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo says we need to start Jerry.
My man
said, y'all try to get Jerry hurt, bro. Y'all try to get Jerry hurt. Y'all try to get Jerry hurt.
He might hold less than Connor, though.
Oh man, no, we tried that with the other Connor, and he did hold less, but he can't block. So we're just gonna leave Connor Williams in.
But what about Jerry Jones, though?
I mean, he did play offensive line, right, when he was in college. I think that was his position.
I think Ronaldo has a good point.
Okay, well, you have the right to have an opinion. No, okay, Noble, Naruto is trash. That will get you blocked. We don't talk about Naruto in this chat. You don't mind anime conversation. Naruto's trash. End of the season predictions. So Dak's out of the MVP conversation, right? I think we can all agree on that.
Okay.
That Dak is out of the MVP conversation after that tough stretch, right? Still had a good year, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, broke the all-time Cowboys record. Is he the comeback player of the year still, though?
Is there anyone else?
Oh, yeah, Joe Burrow. It's going to be Burrow or Dak. It's going to be Burrow or Dak.
Yeah, because the only other person, it could have been Saquon, but
yeah,
they
but
didn't
he
do
stayed hurt all year.
nothing.
So
Yeah. Ooh, is it Burrow?
hang on, live footage of me looking shit up. Joe Burrow. Juan says Burrow. Of course, Juan says Burrow. Juan won't ever vote Dak for anything. No surprises there. Let's see here. Burrow had more yards than Dak. He had like 300 more yards, but he had 34 touchdowns to Dak's 37.
Yeah.
And 14 interceptions to Dak's 10. So I think Dak still had a better season.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if it was a nastier injury, Juan, because I mean, Dak got hurt in week 3?
They were
missed the whole season.
Yeah, they were both pretty gross.
Yeah, I don't know that it was a nastier injury. I don't know that I agree with that.
I think I'm gonna give this. I think I'm gonna give the edge to Dak. I can see either one.
Dak. I think that the other thing that you look at with pretty much any of these awards, right, is that Dak's team won 12 games.
Right. That's what I was gonna say.
Right?
I mean, they were both division winners, but Dak led his team. But Burrow a G.
Yeah, I get it, Juan.
I mean, listen, I love me some Joe Burrow. I think Dak takes the award though.
Burrow is really good, man. I love Joe Burrow. I was the guy, and this is Daniel's point here. Burrow is a beast. Burrow versus Herbert is the next Manning Brady. I was one of the guys that was like, hey, y'all, don't forget about Joe Burrow, right? When he got hurt last year and then Herbert started going bonkers, it was like Joe Burrow didn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
That dude was the number one pick for a reason. He was part of arguably the best college football team outside of maybe Miami back in the day of all time for a reason, right? Joe Burrow is cold, but I do think that I would take Dak for the comeback player.
I think Dak takes that.
Luke said Burrow's that guy, and Chase is better than Lamb. I think I probably agree with that. I mean, Chase just had like 1,500 yards.
Jamar, I'll be the first one to say I
the best deep threat in the league.
Slept on Jamar Chase. Did not know he was that fire. My bad.
No, Jamar Chase is cold. I will say I didn't agree with their pick because I thought they should have got an offensive lineman for Burrow with that pick, but that pick worked out really, really well.
He still did get murdered this year. They do need to get him some offensive line help.
Do need to get him some
help.
But okay, see now, Aaron, but
you're doing but we can just do the rest of the show. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. You can just stop clicking.
Fine. I'll stop clicking. Next award. Parsons is a defensive rookie of the year lock, right? Not really much of a discussion there.
Close.
Not another rookie there.
Close. It's not even close.
But what are the chances between when you look at him and Diggs when it comes to DPOY though? So we're looking about defensive player of the year. What do we think there?
So Watt got to the sack number, right?
He did he tied the sack record.
He tied it. I think it's going to him because that's typically when you have a big sack performance, DPOY is right there. So
I think Parsons sitting week 18 probably hurt just a little bit, especially when Watt tied the record in week 18 there.
Yeah.
See another sack or two, some pass breakups. Maybe he gets that first interception of the season against the Eagles last night, and maybe we're having a different conversation. But I think the fact that he had to sit that game, and then TJ Watt getting to Michael Strahan's record probably puts it in there for him. Yeah, and I think Trayvon Diggs, honestly, he gave up too many yards for people to consider him for Defensive Player of the Year. As much as I'll argue that I'm just not that worried about the yards he's giving up, the voters are going to look at it and they're gonna give it, or they're not gonna give it to Trayvon. You know,
Nah.
the interception feat was crazy impressive. Hasn't been done in 40 years, right?
Yeah.
But he gave up too many yards. The voters just aren't going to go that way. And honestly, most people are probably going to vote that his teammate is a better player than him, right? Mike is going to take votes away from Trayvon.
Yeah.
Is there anything useful in the chat?
I told you to quit clicking. We could just finish the show.
I'm just seeing if there's anything useful in there, right? Because
Yeah.
Josh said Burrow's comeback player of the year, right?
Okay.
Like that's that's relevant to the conversation.
There you go.
Aaron Romo didn't have any picks this year.
See, that's what I'm saying. You didn't even have to look at it. You didn't even have to do that.
Last season award, and this is just a question. I don't think that honestly he's going to be serious contention for this, but do we give any love to Mike McCarthy for Coach of the Year? Because they won 5 games last year, right? His first season in with Dak going down. They come back this year and they go healthy for the most part with Dak, right? But Dak misses a game. You're rotating in and out offensive linemen. Michael Gallup misses the majority of the season. D-Law, Randy missing time. And you still go 12-5. You still have the second best record in the league. And again, this is a team that probably played 3 games above expectation on their win total from what most people were saying.
And I feel all of what you're saying. They had to beat one of those, the Bucks, the Cardinals game. I like their record, but they had to win one of those games, right? The Raiders at the time, you had to find a way to do that. Because you can take the L's, right? The Packers had their loss to the Saints opening the season. The Bucks, I think, lost to the Saints as well, right? Because they have trouble with them in the division. So you can drop a couple games to, subpar competition, but you got to beat a couple of those, what are viewed as the competitive or playoff teams. And I know we beat some, but that Bucks, Chiefs, Cardinals, we had to win one of those games, maybe 2. Not saying our record had to be 14-3. It could have been 12-5 again, but we had to beat some of those teams.
Oh, we've got some relevant chat discussion happening again. Aaron and Noble both agree. L, Tyler, and Aaron, just to make sure that we didn't miss it the first time, with an exclamation point.
I just wonder.
Sorry to inform you that you're catching L's.
Again, allegedly, sure.
Oh, and there's another one from Noble. So,
Got it.
Lots of L's.
Lots of L's. A very fair and equitable moderator is what I've learned.
Man. See, all the time Aaron just wants to rub his fingers through my hair, which is an interesting thought, but understandable. It is pretty soft. Coop says, yeah, TJ Watt's gonna get the defensive player of the year. And yeah, I think he is. And I think he deserves it, right? Like, I'm not gonna be mad that Micah didn't get it. That's okay. TJ Watt had a crazy season.
Yep.
But his team's not as good as mine, so that's okay. He can have the award.
Yep.
All right, let's wrap this bad boy up. Talk to me about your predictions. Where's this team gonna end up? Regular season's over.
It hasn't changed for me. It's still the NFC title game. Yeah, it hasn't changed.
Did you say NFC title game at the beginning? I think you said divisional round the first week.
Yeah,
but either way, you're thinking they're going to get
the last. Yeah, the last time we did. When we were almost to the point of clinching at the end of the win streak, that was that was when started to look like NFC title, because you saw how good the defense was playing consistently. So
yeah, I think that's where I'm at too, right? And I did say that at the beginning. I think we were division and NFC Championship we were talking about. And I'm still there because, look, man, there is not a team in the NFC that scares me, right? Like, there's not a team that is a juggernaut in the NFC. You know, the Packers don't look untouchable. The Broncos don't look untouchable. The Broncos were in a one-score game with the Panthers like halfway through the fourth quarter today. And then they scored like 17 touchdowns. Or the Buccaneers, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did I say the Broncos?
Yeah.
The Buccaneers, I'm sorry. You know, and then they ended up beating the Panthers by like 20. But it was a close game going in the fourth quarter. The Rams lost again today, right? The Cardinals lost again today. Aaron's a Jaguars fan. That's unfortunate.
I mean, these.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, man.
Oh, Josh, you think that Mike Tomlin or Vrabel is going to be the coach of the year? I don't think so. I could see Vrabel maybe. He got his team to the 1 seed, you know, lost Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And Mike Tomlin did what? He gets credit because he took
I'm not
quarterback
feeling
to
Tomlin.
8 wins.
Yeah, I'm not feeling Tomlin, but Vrabel,
his quarterback was trash all year. I don't know. Noble, you can't have any of my hair. Sorry to tell you that. Can't have it. Jason Garrett's not going to be the coach of the year, Aaron. He got fired. So cool. NFC Championship game. Here we come. I feel that. You feel that. And nobody scares me. And look, I mean, honestly, I'm just too scared to call it Super Bowl, right? Because really, all we have to do is do it 4 times. We got to put together 4 good games. And every team that we will come up against is a beatable team. Every single team. We can win against every team that we play against. We match up fine against every team that we will come up against. So, yeah. Sorry, Noble. The Cowboys aren't going to lose to the 49ers because then they wouldn't be able to make it to the NFC Championship. Urban Meyer?
He's the sarcasm. It's sarcasm. It's sarcasm.
I know. Made every team look amazing, including his for firing him.
Come on.
That's hilarious, bro. That's funny. Yeah. Give Urban Meyer the coach of the year for making everybody else look good.
Coach of the year.
Daniel, I don't know if the Niners are weak, but I don't think they're going to beat the Cowboys. I think it'll be a good game, but the Cowboys will win. Aaron said he feel bad for the Cowboys fans. The Jaguars already at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, man. Yep, Parsons going to eat. He is. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have a bad day at the office. Daniel, we are due, man. And that's, you know, where I'm just at, where it's like, man, I'm so close, right? And the only thing that's really holding me back has been kind of what we've seen from the run game. If the run game had been better the last couple weeks, then I'd be up here right now talking about Cowboys going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say NFC Championship. I'm going to hedge my bet a little bit. And then when they do go to the Super Bowl and win it, then, you know, I'll do a really nice job clipping up some of these cuts to make it sound like I said that they were going to go to the Super Bowl. So cool. Anything else you want to discuss this evening, Senor Watts?
No. I just appreciate
very lively chat tonight. Very, very lively. Very lively. Y'all know about Joe. All right, y'all. We got to sign off. We've been doing this thing for like an hour and a half tonight. There's your regular season recap. Check us out probably Thursday evening, where we'll go a little bit more into Cowboys 49ers. Good night, everybody. AFAB fam, we'll holler at y'all later. 49ers fans, see y'all in a couple weeks and see if you got that same energy.